Hello boys and girls, today is Wednesday and I'm going to be reading my final story of the week, which is called You're Not Ugly Duckling by Steve Smallman. And it's a story all about bullying. So we might have a little discussion about that at the end. You're Not Ugly Duckling. Once upon a time, Mummy Duck waited for her eggs to hatch, sat waiting for her eggs to hatch. At last, crack, 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 out popped four adorable ducklings. But one of the eggs didn't hatch. Mummy Duck waited and waited and waited until... crack! Out came a duckling who was, well, a little bit different. He wasn't cute or fluffy, and he had a rather silly hairdo. Mummy Duck was a bit surprised, but she loved her baby just the same. "I think I'll call you Tufty," she said with a smile. All the cute little ducklings waddled in a line behind their mum, but Tufty plodded along with his big flappy feet. Beep, 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 went the little ducklings. Quack, went Tufty. "Ugh, what an ugly duckling," cried the other animals in the farmyard. They laughed at him and chased him around, pecking at his tail and his tufty hair. "Leave him alone," cried Mummy Duck. "You big bullies." But it wasn't just big bullies that poor Tufty had to deal with. His brothers and sisters bullied him too. "Stop that," shouted the little sparrow, but they took no notice of her. Tufty got sadder and sadder and sadder until one day, you see him there, he ran away. He left a note for Sparrow. "Look at this one," cried Sparrow to the ducklings. "See what you have done." And Tufty said, "I've gone to find somewhere I can really fit in, Tufty." The ducklings felt terrible. They looked everywhere for Tufty, but they couldn't find him. It was getting late when Mummy Duck called her ducklings back to the safety of the pond, but Sparrow kept on searching and searching and searching until... finally, she spotted some feathers sticking up out of a chunk of reeds. It was Tufty. "There you are," cried Sparrow, and rushed to give her friend a big feathery hug. "What are you doing here?" asked Tufty. "Looking for you. Everyone has been so worried about you," said Sparrow. "Everyone?" asked Tufty in surprise. "Yes, everyone. So can we please go home now?" replied Sparrow. The two friends set off together and were almost home when... help! A hungry fox was after Tufty's brothers and sisters. "Leave them alone," Tufty shouted. The fox turned around and grinned a nasty grin. "Oh look," he laughed, "an ugly duckling with a stupid hairdo." Splash! "My hairdo is not stupid," cried Tufty. Then he rushed straight to the fox, who was so surprised that he jumped backwards and fell into the pond with a great big splash. The ducklings were amazed. "That was very brave," they said. "Thank you for saving us." Then they all said the words that the ugly duckling had been waiting to hear for a very long time. "We're sorry we were so mean to you before just because you don't look quite the same as us. You are a brave little brother, and you're not an ugly duckling at all. Aren't I?" said Tufty. "No, you are not," said his brothers and sisters. "You are a delightfully different duckling." Then with a happy quack, Tufty, the delightfully different duckling, waddled all the way back home where he lived happily and differently ever after. Quack! So, just want to talk to you a little bit about the book then, and as we go through, I'm just going to touch you at some pages, look at some pages as I speak. So, it's interesting how when he's born, Tufty is a little bit different, isn't he? And this really speaks to me about how we're all born differently and we all have to respect each other, no matter how different we are from one another. And I just want you to have a little think, and you can say this to your mummies and daddies, and I just want you to look at this picture here. And we had the animals calling him names and some of the birds up here calling him names as well. And particularly over here where they're pulling and pecking at his feathers. How do you think he was feeling at that point? You can tell your brother or your sister, or you can tell your mum. How do you think Tufty was feeling? Look at his face. And then his brothers and sisters are laughing at him as well. And his mum's protecting him. So I would think that he's feeling sad, he's feeling upset, he's feeling that he doesn't fit in, and he's feeling probably a little bit worried as well. And that's not a nice way to make somebody feel. So we have to remember that if we're calling somebody's names or making fun of them for being different, that we make them feel all those ways, upset, sad, and not very nice. And as we carry on through the book, then Tufty decides he's going to leave because he doesn't like being bullied, basically. But then he has a good friend. I just want you to think about Sparrow here. What makes Sparrow a good friend? Here she is, here, telling the ducklings about what they've done to Tufty. Here she is here looking for Tufty as well. And she carries on the search even as it's getting dark. What makes her a good friend? I think one of the things that makes her a good friend is that she accepts Tufty for being different, and that she never gives up on finding him. She carries on looking for him, and she makes him feel so much better with some of the kind words that she uses when she tells him that everybody is worried about Tufty. And then look at this one. Even though Tufty, brothers and sisters, are being unkind to Tufty, he still sticks up for them. So he still has that strength to be brave as well. So, that's that story. It's all about bullying, and we had a little discussion about it there. But what I want you to remember is always accept people for who they are. Always, no matter how different they are from you. And also always be kind to each other and be nice to each other. And always think about, if you're going to say something unkind, how is it going to make the other person feel? Because it won't make them feel nice. And then it won't make you feel nice inside either. So always be kind, always show respect. So that's that story. You're not ugly duckling. Have a great day, and I will see you next week.